But when you finding out that, you know, your goddad was Ray Ray, like, what little do you know of him? Like, did you ever get a chance to meet him?
Oh, of course. My mother, in my opinion, not using the word right-hand man, was his right-hand woman in a sense. You know, she was very trustworthy. And whatever they had going on, I'm not talking about nothing sexually or anything of that nature. I'm referring to business and just relationship, period, right? So I remember this was my last time seeing him. And this was, I want to say, maybe, yeah, this was after my brother died. After my brother died, this was the last time I seen him. I could be wrong, where it was just before. However, he came, we were staying on Garfield and Orange Grove. He came to visit my mom. He had a security with him, and he rode up in a Rolls Royce. And he called me over to the car. He had a big wheel for me. And so with that being said, that was my first toy, my first gift from him. And you know, every little kid want to drive a car or whatnot, right? So it was the big wheel with the brake shift on the tire, and I was happy. I was happy. And that was the last time I seen him, man. That was the last time I spoke to him after that, but I was just older later on. That was back in 2000, if I'm not mistaken, when I last spoke with him.
But so have you ever served time?
Oh yes. I served time. I've been out maybe about 2.5 years now. I got out September 2022. I did 22 years. Well, actually 21, 8 months, 1 week. Instead of saying all that, I just say 22 years. I went down for a carjack murder.
Like, where did you serve time at?
My first prison was Tehachapi, 184 yard. Caught a shoe there for so-called attempted assault on the police, and left there, went to Salinas Valley, 180. From there, I went to Corcoran, 270. From there, I went to Centinela level 3, and then from level 3, I went to level 2, Soledad.
So 22, like close to 22 years though. Your first time. This your first time going to prison around this time?
Yeah, it's my first time going to prison.
So, like, what was your experience like? You know you going away for a long time. How did you feel?
I always knew I was coming back. You know, I always been an optimistic individual. Just like I knew I was gonna get found guilty, you know, but I always knew I was gonna come back because I just knew before they even found me guilty and before the trial was over, I just knew that I wasn't supposed to be in prison for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I said, I know they're gonna do something faulty, which they did.
But did they try to offer you the life sentence or no?
No, we was facing the death penalty at first. We was facing the death penalty, and then it went to life without, and then we ended up with two life sentences. So my experience being my first time in that situation and going to prison, like I said, I knew I was coming back. Yeah, I cried. I cried when I got found guilty, you know, but I always knew I was coming back. And as long as I stayed focused and optimistic, I knew, I just didn't know when. So my journey in the system, keep in mind, when I first went to prison, I was at my beginning stage of my transitioning of not pushing the hood no more. I'm always from the hood, but I just don't bang. I represent the hood in a positive way, or I do my best to put it in a positive light. So when I first got to prison, I got to Tehachapi, level 4, 180 main line, January of 2004. I had stopped banging November 2002, somewhere around there, November 2002. With that being said, so when I hit the line, and I can say prior before I went to prison, you had individuals outside of Pasadena. When I'm referring to individuals, I'm talking about Bloods and Parus who knew me when I was pushing. They felt some type of way, felt some type of way. However, I'm not an individual who was running from anything, and what I mean by that, I wasn't foul. I'm still not foul. I left about the game the same way I came in. That's with a clean record, right? So, with that being said, I understood where some of them was coming from, but that was a decision I made. Just like it was a decision I made in the beginning to bang. So when I entered prison, you had certain individuals that was trying to pull me back in. These are individuals, once again, that wasn't from Pasadena. I never had an issue with anyone from Pasadena. Now, they would ask questions, why I stopped pushing, and it's been individuals that'll try to pull me back in, but when I mean having an issue where we're about to go to blows, or trying to punk me or anything, it was never that.
So while you in there, is this the time that when was the time that you start getting into writing and doing books?
So that was March 2011. No. March 2009. March of 2009, I was down a little over 8 years, and I was at Corcoran Prison. And I was just still appealing my case. I'm like, man, I got to get up out of here. So initially, I wanted to write a movie. I wrote a movie, but initially it was supposed to be a movie that I ended up turning into a book because I didn't know how to write a movie script. I had a cellie named J-Dog, little J-Dog from 60s, and he used to see me get up every morning right. I get up like 4 in the morning, just before Fajr prayer. And he asked me one day, man, what are you writing? And I'm like, writing this movie. So he referred me to a guy named Meech out of Richmond, the Bay Area. And Meech is the one that laced me up. So my reasons of writing is that I needed to get up out of there. I needed money. And my mindset was, I at least have to have $1 million. Part of that is gonna buy one of these COs, and the rest I'm about to live off. And do my thing and get up out of America. That was my whole plot. So my mind state was always either appeal or escape. So that's how I started writing. So while I was writing, I seen it became therapeutic. And what I mean, it took me out of prison. It was therapy. When you write. You the god of that. You control everything. My mind just went everywhere. I was free while I was writing, and that's why I stayed with it.
How difficult was it, getting out after 22 years? That now you back into the real world. How difficult was it to separate prison and the real world?
Well, in prison, you don't have no bills. You don't have no bills. Out here in the real world, that would be a big hurdle for a lot of individuals. I left the streets when I was 19, and like how I was saying earlier, I grew up in an Islamic household, and I had to grow up fast. So when my older brother died, I became the man of the household. So I knew about responsibilities. So I'm not sitting up here saying that I had bills to the extent to where I have them now. Like I said, I left when I was 19. It wasn't really difficult for me because I was already in that mindset on what I need to do. You know, it's nothing new up under the sun. People live, die. We have to pay bills. We have to eat. You know, so it was the same thing in regarding of that. Now the technology and all that's new. That was new.
Like it seemed like it's more advanced now than when you left. When you left, was it like still like pagers and
yeah, most
chirps and stuff like that,
yeah,
or what was it when you left?
Exactly what you said. Pagers, chirps.
Was the payphone booth still working?
Payphone booth was going on still. Sure, but my adjustment in the technology, I had to fill out applications, you know, through my phone or laptop. When I left, you know, when I first got out, I'm doing some of the things that I was doing when I left and trying to find a job. I walk up in the store, ask for an application. They all keep telling me, oh, you got to apply online, apply online, apply online. So I never, since I've been out, got an application from anyone, from any store. I had to do them all online. So that was the big thing. And then you got to stay up with your email, you know, because they emailing you, you know. Then you got to go into spam, you know, and all type of stuff, man. You know, so I knew in order for me to make money and survive and handle my responsibilities, I must adjust to this technological world, you know.